Hi everybody, I've got my technical issues worked out and I've got this package for Denise and Vox Commando set up and ready to go, I hope. A couple things I want to mention. The first is that the version of Vox Commando you've downloaded is only a trial version. It's good for 40 commands and you have to restart it if you want to issue any more. To get rid of the limitation there, you need to purchase a license. It's $40 and it's good for 2 PCs. Myself, I think it's well worth it. I've registered it years ago and it's been super ever since. The second thing is, this isn't going to be a Vox Commando tutorial. You're going to have to figure out a lot of that yourself. There's some great videos on YouTube for the VC tutorials. I definitely recommend you look into those. But I will talk about and I'll show you things that you do need to know to get this thing working properly and things you might want to look at. So we'll get into this right away, try to make it fairly quick. First off, I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop for Vox Commando. And I'm going to take the install file, copy it in there, and fire her up. I'm going to keep all the defaults. You definitely need the Python libraries and the core files. It's a quick install. And there we go. You want to select the standard version and the English MediaMonkey configuration. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn the microphone off. Next thing we have to do is we have to enable a couple more plugins. It already has MediaMonkey and text-to-speech by default because of our configuration, but we need 4 more. We're going to enable Hue, Python, RoboBrowser, Python, and Weather Underground. We're going to need those for our commands to work properly. Okay, next thing we want to do is we also want to change some options. Over here, I uncheck these boxes. I don't like the on-screen displays, the text that it puts on the screen. Normally I'm not even looking at my screen anyways. I could be walking around the house anywhere using this, which is what I'm usually doing. So I uncheck those boxes anyways. Over here where it says use prefix, prefix mode is very important. Make sure that box is checked and change it to something like Hey Denise or whatever your assistant is called. Now this prefix, when you're in standby mode, you can issue a single command just by starting the command with Hey Denise, like using Hey Denise as a prefix to your command. That'll issue a single command in standby mode. When the microphone is on, you don't need to use any prefix, you can just issue your command. So we'll save and close this. Oh, the confidences. You may have to fool around with these values depending on your quality of your microphone and the acoustic values of your room, wherever your things are. Ideally you would want to have a high confidence. If you have a good quality microphone, you can probably raise that. Same thing over here. On the other hand, if you have a lot of background noise, raising the confidence could make it a little tougher, but it could be a good thing also. So play around with those values as well as the level of your microphone input as well. You can just go into your sounds down here, choose your recording, your microphone properties, levels, and you can adjust the level. I've put it up to 100 for now, just because, mostly for this video rather than anything else. Okay, so I'm going to close this up now. We'll save and close our options, and we'll do a full restart. Okay, I'll turn the microphone off. You'll see we have all of our plugins here. We're going to have to do something with a couple of them. We'll do MediaMonkey first. What we want to do is we want to create the XML files for all your songs and everything else on your in your media library. That's why I wanted MediaMonkey installed first, so that the library would already be created, and now we can just create the XML files that Vox Commando needs. So we'll just generate this. And it's going to hang. I've noticed this happen a couple of times. It might happen to you, it might not. I'll show you. We'll just wait for it to time out. Shouldn't take too much longer, I hope. There we go. We'll quit. We'll just start up Vox Commando again. And we'll try it one more time. Whoops. Plugins. MediaMonkey. There we go. Now it's generating 5,300 songs almost. Okay, so we'll save this and close it. And the other plugin we need to set up is Hue. That's an easy one, except I have to get up out of my chair. Just push the button on my bridge and now we can connect. So there, I've got my Hue lights connected to Vox Commando now as well. Next step, I guess, is copying in some of the files we're going to need. So in your Vox Commando folder that you created, open up the payloads file, or folder I should say, and just move it to the side. And the zip file that I posted on Facebook will have 8 XML files in them. Okay, 2 of them, VC collections. These are the actual commands that we're going to import in, or copy into Vox Commando. All the other ones, they're payload files, and we'll talk about payload files a little bit later if you're not familiar with them. So right now I'm just going to select all the payload files, because that's the ones I want to copy in right now. I don't want to move them, I want to copy them. Okay, so now we have our payload files in the payload folder. So we can close that now. Keep this one open. Now we want to go into the edit function. And this is where all your commands will be. You'll see it's already got the MediaMonkey commands there, but we don't want those ones. I've copied over my own, which has the stuff in there that we need to hook it up with Denise. So we'll just delete those. And now in these collection files, we'll do the Denise one first. So just open it up and select all the text with Control A, copy it, and paste it directly into the edit window. And boom, there's all your Denise commands. Okay, we'll do the same thing for MediaMonkey now. And boom, we've got our MediaMonkey commands now. One thing you have to do before we get this up and running is go into the Denise commands, and in the startup folder you'll see there's a set global variables. You're going to need to go into there, and up top where it has username and password, you've got to put in your login information. Same thing you type into Denise. And it's case sensitive, so make sure you type in exactly what you type in to the NextOS screen. Okay, and just after that, click OK. Don't click Save and Execute because we don't want to run this yet. Just click on OK. These files in the startup folder, these are all events. And what happens is when Box Commando starts up, it's an event-driven application. So when Box Commando starts up, these events are triggered. The trigger is VC loaded. So when Box Commando gets loaded, it looks for any commands in its tree that it needs to execute when Box Commando is loaded. So it'll go through these one at a time, execute each one of these commands at startup. Basically here we're setting our global variables. Don't worry about that line, you're not going to have it. Here we're connecting to Denise. Now you might need to make a couple of changes in here. Maybe, maybe not. This first line here, I'm not going to explain all of this. This line here, this is where we get the key from Denise. So you have to make sure Denise is running before you start up Box Commando. So this will get the key that it's going to need to run any of the APIs. Okay. Now these are the APIs here. Wherever you see a scrape, that's an API that it's using. So the first API here, it's setting the agent's name. And if you remember back in the prefix, I used Denise. So if you were using a different name, you'd change it there. Okay, and here I'm setting the agent's voice to whatever voice I want, whatever is in your NextOS agent folder. So that's basically just the setup, and it's connecting to Denise and basically initializing Denise there. That's about all you need to know about that for now. Yeah, so these commands will all be loaded at startup. These are all your other commands. If you want to know how to invoke something, like what the phrase you'd need to be for weather for a city, just click on the plus and it shows you what's the weather like in, you could say that, or you could say what's the weather for, and then there's a payload file, and this contains the city names. And I'll show you why right now. Basically I could say what's the weather for Tokyo, and if Tokyo's in my payload file, then what it does, we'll go into the payload file. Where's Tokyo? There's Tokyo. So I'm saying where's what's the weather like in Tokyo? Well, Weather Underground doesn't need just Tokyo. It needs to be specified as Tokyo, Japan, or Japan/Tokyo. There's a very specific value that Weather Underground needs, and this just interprets it for Weather Underground. Now to find those values, if you want to add a new city to the list, because I'm sure these aren't going to meet your needs, we'll just save this and get out for a second. If you go into your plugins and the Weather Underground plugin, you'll get this screen. So if you want to find out what a city is, you type the city name in, Tokyo, and click search. And then on the left there you'll see it in the tree, Japan/Tokyo. So that's exactly what you would put in as the value in that payload file. I think that's about all I'm going to go into for now. Yeah, I think we're ready just to do a restart and run a few commands. You can see what it can do, and you can fool around and look yourselves for more to see what's in here. Besides the startup, these common Denise commands, don't worry about those as much. Some of them you'll need, but you'll see how they work when I'm using it. Like I said, if you want to know how to invoke the command, just click the plus. It'll show you the phrases that invokes it. We've got some Google searches too: time, weather, Google searches, images, videos, YouTube, Wikipedia, commands for hue lighting, and then all these commands for your media library. So we'll play around with those. So we'll close this for now, save the changes. May as well get rid of this window, we don't need that anymore, and we'll do a full restart.
Connected to Denise. Connected to Media Monkey. Initialization complete.
Well, so far so good. You'll notice we're in standby mode now, so I can just execute a single command by using the prefix and then the command I want. We'll do the time, I guess, first. Hey Denise, what time is it?
It's 4:17 p.m.
If you wanted to issue multiple commands, you'd bring Denise up. Hey Denise.
I'm here. What's up?
What time is it?
It's 4:18 p.m.
What's the weather like?
Looks like it's haze and 29.4 degrees. Wind is out of the west at 6 kilometers per hour, so it feels like 29.
What time is it in San Antonio?
It's 5:18 p.m. in San Antonio.
What's the weather like in Oshkosh?
It's partly cloudy and 32.4 degrees in Oshkosh. Wind is out of the west-southwest at 1.6 kilometers per hour, so it feels like 34.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure.
Hey Denise, how about some reggae?
Good choice. Reggae. Now playing No Underscore Woman Underscore No Underscore Cry by Bob Marley.
What album is this from? Hey Denise, what album is this from?
This is from the album Smokin' Pot DISC1.
Well, you can see that if song titles aren't formatted perfectly, Denise has a problem with them, but she gets the point. What else can we try? Hey Denise, bedroom lights blue.
Gotcha. Bedroom lights blue.
Hey Denise.
I'm here. What's up?
Play some Rolling Stones.
Cool. I'm in the mood for some Rolling Stones. Now playing Mother's Little Helper by Rolling Stones.
Hey Denise.
I'm here. What's up?
Turn up the volume.
Volume now set to 30.
Set the volume to 50.
Volume now set at 50.
Play album Dark Side of the Moon.
Playing album Dark Side of the Moon. Now playing Speak to Me / Breathe by Pink Floyd.
Play next song.
Now playing Speak to Me / Breathe in the A by Pink Floyd.
Play next song.
Now playing On the Run by Pink Floyd.
Play something by Amanda Marshall.
Cool. I'm in the mood for some Amanda Marshall. Now playing Believe in You, radio edit, Touched by an Angel soundtrack by Amanda Marshall. Now playing Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac.
Thank you.
Okay, call me if you need me.
Hey Denise, set volume to 30. Hey Denise, set volume to 30.
Volume now set at 30.
Hey Denise, stop music. Well, that's basically the commands that I have in there. You can fool around with those and some more. The speech recognition, I have to definitely do some adjustments on the microphone and the values there, but it wasn't too bad. If you have any questions or any problems with it, you can always post a message on Facebook and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to watch it and enjoy. Bye bye.